Let's spend a little time with a man who's taken some time out of his busy day, and that would be Congressman Randy Hultgren, proudly representing the 14th District. Congressman, good morning to you.
Riley, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, sir. How's everything going this morning?
Well, pretty good. We're going to get some snow, I think, out here in D.C., so we'll see if everything keeps going or not. But now
what happens in D.C. when you guys get a good spanking with snow? Everything shut down?
It just shuts down. I mean, even if it snows in Pittsburgh, they shut schools in D.C. just in case, because it's close enough. So, yeah, it is so funny being someone growing up in Minnesota and spending time, growing up in Illinois, spending time up in Minnesota, just used to rolling with the snow out here. It just paralyzes them. But you know what? We've got a lot of work to do, and so we'll just keep at it. And good news is we're all here, ready to go, ready to get some stuff done. So,
how about a reaction to yesterday's primaries?
Yeah, it was, I guess, not a lot of surprises. It was close in some cases, but, I think it was, we've got clear answers now moving forward, and, it was certainly a close race for Rauner, not quite as close for Pritzker. So I think, it's going to be an interesting few months coming up. There's clear differences, different ideas of size of state government and cost of state government, and so I think it'll be a good, strong challenge and battle, hopefully talking about real ideas, trying to get Illinois moving forward.
Yeah, and this also, I think, is going to stack up to be one of the more expensive gubernatorial races one has seen in a very long while, too.
I agree. I think it's just going to be ridiculous. And it's always expensive in Illinois with Chicago media, but I think this one's just going to be off the charts.
Yeah, when you think about, running for Congress as opposed to running for governor, I'm looking at some of the numbers here. J.B. Pritzker dumped nearly $70 million into capturing the nomination. Bruce Rauner dumped in more than 50.
It's amazing.
And that's in the primary.
It's staggering. Yeah.
Wow.
But, again, for these guys, it's not, it doesn't mean quite the same to them as maybe to some others. But still, it's just an incredible amount of money. And the reality is, it drives up the cost of every other race as well to be able to get information and get messages out.
Well, it'll be interesting as far as from a voter standpoint. We're about to be on the receiving end of a blitz like we haven't seen in a very, very long time.
You're right.
Shifting gears here a little bit, kudos to you. I'm looking at a piece here about you sponsoring legislation to combat child identity fraud. And that's not something that people hear a lot about, but it's something that people who are in the scam business look at. Yeah,
it is just, again, mind-boggling to me, the sickness, darkness of people's thoughts of, hey, whatever I can do to steal from somebody else, and now even stealing kids' identities, kids' social security numbers or other things, and using those to kind of set up false credit access, and then having really significant damage done to those kids as they grow older, their families, and so there are things we can be doing to be protecting identities of all people, making sure that people know that their information is safe and secure, that their money is safe and secure, and certainly this is one of those areas where we've got to go after the bad guys who are out there trying to cause harm, trying to steal something so precious, somebody's identity, and again, to cause long-term, really difficult to repair harm. So I'm excited that it's something that we think can move forward. We're getting some positive response to, certainly from the Senate. That's always our challenge, is figuring out what can pass both the House and the Senate. I think this is something, again, that absolutely makes sense to protect our kids, to protect our families, to protect everybody's identity. That is such a fundamental violation when it happens. And I know so many people that I've talked to have suffered through that and continue years later to suffer through it.
Well, and you point out in this piece here, one of your constituents, the family becoming victims of identity fraud, 13-year-old child, the Social Security number of a 13-year-old child used by a fraudster.
Yeah, it's amazing. They get the number, and then they're able to kind of create this false identity around this real Social Security number. And again, the damage is real and long-term and very difficult to undo. So that's what we're going after, trying to find ways again to make this more secure, to make sure that young people and all people are protected.
Absolutely, yeah, because that's one of those things. It's bad enough when you're an adult, that sort of thing happens, but when it happens when you're a kid, before you've even really stepped into the race that is life, you've already got that problem to deal with.
That's absolutely right. So that's our hope. It's a real problem. It's not pervasive yet, so we want to just be proactive on this, and again, to make sure that we can help and protect as many people, some who have already been caught up in this, but then try and keep others from being attacked this way.
And another thing that you've got going on that I think is cool, because I've seen it having when we came to Washington and visited you, and you're kind enough to arrange a tour and have us look around, is the artwork that is displayed around the Capitol that comes from all over the country, and the marvelous pool of talent that is out there is really something to witness. And we're doing it all over again, another art competition.
Yeah, we love this. It's such a positive way to celebrate talent, incredible giftedness of our young people. And so we reach out to all 7 of our counties, to high schools, art teachers, and to folks who have an interest in any type of art, to be able to put together a piece of artwork that potentially then we've got a professional artist who helps us with a selection process of kind of narrowing it down. That's always the most difficult thing, because we've got some incredibly talented people. But then if it is selected, then that piece of artwork is displayed here in Washington, D.C. It's the passageway, if you remember, between the office buildings and the Capitol. So literally thousands of people every single day get to see this incredible artwork from every congressional district around the nation. And so it's really a fun celebration. And then we also have those who come in second place or third place. We ask if they'd be willing to let us have that on display in our offices, one in Campton Hills, one up in McHenry. So again, all the people who come and see us at our office get to come and also see this beautiful artwork that people in our district have created.
Which is really outstanding, because, you call it the People's House and all that. Well, this it really represents that, because people from all over the country show up and see things that came from the district that maybe their kid did.
Right. Yeah, it's really fun, and just seeing the connections, and again, just seeing walking through there and just seeing the differences of beauty of, how people are able to express themselves in so many different ways. Really cool. And, it just is encouraging to me at so many different levels. This is a really fun one to celebrate that artistic talent. We also have an app contest where we have high school students create an app, a phone app, basically, that helps people. And there's a competition to select from each district an app. So there's an art competition and an app competition. And then you and I have also talked about our STEM Scholars program that we've got in our district, where we've got almost 30 high schools. All of these different things, every day I feel the reality of the challenges that we face and the difficulties ahead. But then when I spend time and see these incredible young people that are passionate, that are working hard, that really want to make a difference in so many different ways, that it's inspiring to me and keeps me going.
Oh, sure.
We've got to be looking for those opportunities, again, just to celebrate great young people and the really good work that they're doing.
Outstanding. Congressman, as always, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy day for us. We'll look forward to our next chat.
Sounds good. Great to talk to you. Have a great day.